For the latest, let's go live to RT reporter Chay Bowes joins us now from Wagner's headquarters in St. Petersburg. Great to have you with us. So walk us through the key messages of Putin's speech.
Yes, well, hello from St. Petersburg, which is the center, if you like, now of attention because of Wagner PMC HQ. Its corporate headquarters is behind me. President Putin's speech really laid out Russia's position in relation to Wagner and Mr. Prigozhin. President Putin described his actions as treasonous, criminal, and essentially an act against the Russian people. He called on Wagner fighters and officers and those working for the group to lay down their arms, to return to their deployment bases with the Russian military. He suggested that they would not come to any harm and that the individual who was responsible for this was carrying out an armed rebellion against the Russian people. He also mentioned that this could trigger further trouble within the country at a time when it needs to be unified against its foe. We obviously think of the special military operation in Ukraine, and that this would be brother against brother, that it is not something that the Russian Federation needs right now, and that it's a challenge to the sovereign power of the president and to the Kremlin, essentially. So he's laid out the stall very, very clearly, that the full might of the Russian state will be deployed against the Wagner group if they decide to push the envelope now and challenge the Kremlin any further.
Well, Chay, please walk through us the atmosphere there in Wagner's headquarters in St. Petersburg. What is the latest security situation out there?
Well, behind me is the large, well-known corporate HQ of Wagner Group. The group, founded in around 2015 by Yevgeny Prigozhin, this very colourful entrepreneur who's originally studied as a pharmacist, moved his way through various industries in the food industry, becoming a very wealthy man with many premises in this city here of St. Petersburg, the beautiful city of the capital of Russia's north. So behind me, security services have taken control of that corporate HQ. We believe they're searching it as part of the criminal case that's been opened by the Russian authorities into Wagner Group. We also witnessed this morning security services raiding, if you like, various premises that belong to Mr. Prigozhin in the center of St. Petersburg. The mood in the city is calm. People are watching the situation closely. Mr. Prigozhin's statements have become increasingly aggressive towards the Russian authorities, and many believe that this confrontation was maybe coming for some time. And so the mood is calm. The city is going to continue with its events this evening, and people are getting on with their business, waiting to see how things develop.
Well, Chay, from what I can see from behind you, the headquarters of Wagner Group in St. Petersburg is pretty normal out there. So for the latest, Prigozhin has said his forces has taken control of all military installations in the city of Rostov on Don. From your sources of information, how accurate is that source?
Well, the Russian authorities, or the Kremlin, have denied that they've taken control of several installations and military equipment. We've seen footage, verified footage, of local people remonstrating, arguing with Wagner fighters on the streets and asking them to return to Ukraine to continue the fight. So there is a sense of surprise in Rostov. The governor has asked people to remain in their homes, remain calm. There has been from what we can see and from our reports, there has been no clash between Russian troops and Wagner at this time. There is a standoff of sorts. But now that President Putin has very clearly sent the message out to Wagner fighters, officers and all associated with it that this is being seen in the Kremlin and by the Russian state as an act of treason, an act of armed rebellion against the Russian state. We can now see the significant security apparatus of that state, and it is a significant security apparatus, spring into life, roll into action. And it's hoped that the size of that response will chill and cool Mr. Prigozhin's thoughts as he decides what to do next.
Thank you very much. Our RT reporter Chay Bowes reporting from the Wagner's headquarters in St. Petersburg.